Okay, good evening again. We'll go ahead and start our program. Before we start our program, I do want to recognize some people that are here tonight. Everything we do here at Eastern Arizona College, and especially in our athletic department, has to do with some very important people. Part of that group is our district governing board. And tonight we have our chairman of the district governing board here, Jeff Larson, and I want to recognize him. He's in the back. He'll wave. Mr. Larson's also part of our booster club, so he's very, very supportive of all of our athletics. Appreciate everything he's done. Also here tonight is the president of the college, Mr. Todd Haney. He's in the back. Very, very supportive of athletics. Appreciate everything he does. Dr. Susan Wood is here tonight, who is our vice president of academic student affairs. I'm actually working my way right down the list of people that I answer to. And then also we have deans here tonight. Kenny Smith, Dean of Student Services, who I directly report to, extremely supportive. We have Gary Sorensen here, Dean of Students. Many of you know him. And I want to make a special announcement that Dr. Doreen Chancellor is here, a retired dean from us, and my first boss. She's in the back, and we're thankful that she's here today. A few other people that are here today that I want to recognize. Our marketing department, Mr. Chris McBride, Lori Dugan, Kelly Reed, Sophia and Monique. Appreciate everything they do for us in support of what we're doing. One of the people I want to make sure I recognize tonight for all the work that she has done, not only for tonight's production here, but also all year in her first year in our department. Janae Lyons. Where's Janae? Janae, where are you? There she is in the back. Janae's my assistant, has done a great job this year, taking over the reins and helping us run the department. We appreciate everything she does for us. A couple other people I want to recognize tonight that aren't here. Mike DeLeo. Mike DeLeo runs our home events, equipment. Those of you students here tonight, before you leave, you should go by. I know he can be a little grumpy sometimes, but you go by and thank him for everything he does all year. The time he puts in putting on our events, how late nights, early mornings, making sure equipment's ready to go, make sure uniforms are ready to go, make sure our events run first class. Make sure you say hi to him and thank him for everything that he does for us in our department. He's an integral part in our department. So we thank him. Also would like to recognize the athletic training department, Steve Orm and Jory Gallegos. Good job. Jory just came on board with us in March officially. I think he's done a nice job. He's jumped right in. He's a former student here. He's from the area, and he is excited to be here. And I'm going to have him come up here real quick, and I want him to introduce the students he has here tonight. You didn't know you were going to talk, huh? But I do want him to recognize the students that are here, because I recognize them because I see them around all the time working in our training room. So come on up. Take a moment. Take as much time as you want.
Oh, yeah? Can you guys hear me? Yeah? Everyone good? All right. These are my athletic training students. Without them, I would be nothing, literally nothing. They do a lot for me. I have Raven, Mackenzie, and Amaya. Great students. I love having them around, so I appreciate them. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with the program. We'll just follow right down the program as the coaches are listed. They'll come up here and visit. We want to hear about their students, their year, and hear what they have to say. So without further ado, volleyball coach Sherry Kay.
I can't take you guys anywhere, can I? No, I appreciate that. What? No? No?
I am remiss. I forgot to recognize somebody. Tanya Larson, who does all of our eligibility all year. Give her a big shout out. She keeps us eligible.
So I was sitting at the student award assembly that we had last week, and it was like three and a half pages long or whatever, and I was like, holy cow, this is going to take forever. And but it actually went pretty quick, and I told myself that I was not going to be long-winded because I have a tendency to get on a mic and like just keep talking. I think I try to explain things too much and try to throw out adjectives and whatever, and use my hands way too much. I need to stop. You should have seen the year that I broke my arm and had it like this. I literally could not talk. But I do want to welcome everyone here tonight. It's so fun to have us all here in the same room. Stepping over the chain when you walk off the sidewalk from the gym that I did every day for like how many years? And fell and broke my arm. Thanks, Kate. Thank you, Kate. Thanks, Kate. Wow. Anyways, real quick, I just want to hop into this. I do want to welcome everybody here. Like I said, it's really fun to have us all in here in the same room. You know, a year ago, who would have thought that we would be doing this without masks and all that other stuff. At the beginning of this year with so many freshmen, I really was kind of thinking that this was going to be a season with a lot of peaks and valleys, because a lot of times that happens when you have a young team. Sometimes they have a hard time being stable, that kind of thing. We had a tough schedule early on. We opened up with at a tournament at New Mexico Military, and we played several like top 10, top 15 teams, and we beat a couple. We struggled and lost in 5, and I was, by the time we left, I was like, this is going to be a good season. We have some really good girls, and I was excited about that. Came home, found out we had a positive COVID, went to the next weekend tournament with literally half my team, half my starters, no libero, and we still won. So that was an even better sign. So I was like, so I was excited. So the end of August, all through September, we managed to hold on to the number 1 spot. We were undefeated, beating all the big dogs that we needed to. And we did take 1 loss. COVID hit us again, and the quarantining, and the whole month of October, which happened to be the real meaty part of our season, where we just had game, and that just really kind of hurt us. We never really had the time to get back into it and gain our footing back. But if you watched us, you know we were fun to watch. We were athletic. We were talented. We had chemistry. We were fun. We were fun to watch. Love these girls. I do want to introduce my players. And like Kate always says, if you will just hold your applause, like call everybody up here, and then we can do it all at the end. We'll save time and get through everyone. I do want to start with my freshmen, and I will call your names, and you guys can come stand to my right over here. We have Carly Hawes from Round Valley High School. She was our manager / practice player, and it was just kind of fun to watch her get better as the time went on. Kira Smith, redshirt freshman from Blue Ridge High School. Tasala Moy Ave from Wailua High School in Hawaii. Reagan Olson from Snowflake, who is not here. She left in January to go on a mission. She is currently in Ecuador serving. Michaela Jorgensen from Thatcher High School, who is also not here. She got married. Because that's what I do. I get you married and send you on missions. That's what I do. Not the plan. Kyra Kroll from Bridger High School in Montana. Kaya Baker from Germany. We'll leave it at that because I can't pronounce anything else. Larson Anderson from Diamond High School in Alaska. And Kaden Osborne, also from Diamond High School in Alaska. Fun fact, she is the baby sister to Jay, who played for me. Thank you. I'll hug you later. A couple years ago, she was actually ended up being setter of the year for the conference, so she had some big shoes to fill. But four of these girls here three that are here all started and pretty much kind of carried this team. Those who didn't start had really big roles and kind of helped make us what we were and gave us the success that we had in our winning ways. And I am really looking forward to the leadership and the winning ways and all that they will bring back next year. It's a super great foundation that makes me really excited. Because I actually have big girls that can play defense too, so they can play front row and back row. That's a great combo. And now I'd like to introduce my sophomores, but I only have 2 of them here. We'll start with, well, let me introduce the ones that are not here. Haley Layton, who also was recently just married. She is with her husband in Las Cruces. Taya Baldwin, who also just left and is serving a mission in Ecuador. Savannah White from Payson High School. She just left to pursue job opportunities in Utah. All of these girls could be playing, should be playing, but they have other choices. I always say it's a choice. They made a choice. Sasha Bajek, you come on up. She's from Eastwood High School in El Paso. She has recently just signed to play at Texas A&M Texarkana. Yes, so we're happy for her. And last but not least, our 6th, 7th year senior, it feels like, Rainey Norton, our libero. Go ahead and let's give them all these girls. Stay. Come on. These sophomores, especially these 2 that are right here. I mean, obviously the ones we're missing were a huge part, but they really showed some leadership and guided us through some pretty hard times. You know, the COVID year, even with it this year, they really guided the younger girls through it. It just was, they made it kind of like a non-issue kind of thing. Their leadership is super invaluable. While I have them here, there are a couple that were recognized for their efforts. Kaden Osborne finished, she was 2nd in overall assists and 2nd in assists per set in our conference. She also led all setters in digs per set, which means she can play defense, which part of our strategy is to hit at setters because they don't play defense. She plays defense. Early on in the season, she was also top in aces as well, so she's kind of a triple threat for us. She was ACCAC Division I Defensive Player of the Week, 2nd team All-Conference, and 1st team All-Region. Kaden Osborne. So Rainey, our 3rd year, how do you even say that? 3rd year sophomore? Junior, whatever. Super sophomore, there you go. We'll get to that later. So Rainey finished 1st in the ACCAC in overall digs and 2nd in digs per set. She was the ACCAC Division I Defensive Player of the Week 2 times. It's really hard to get recognition for a libero. They just don't get the attention that they deserve for whatever reason. Everyone wants to vote for hitters and stuff, but she won that 2 times. She was ACCAC honorable mention and also all-region and 1st team. Rainey Norton. Go ahead and handle that. And while I have Rainey up here, just really quick, I want to try to get through this. She's worked out with us 2 years of her high school and then played with us for 3 years, so she's been here literally forever. Her freshman year, we had no gym because of the flood, so we practiced sometimes at 5 a.m., sometimes at 9 p.m., all over the place. Thatcher Middle School, Safford High School. We played at Thatcher High School, played at Safford High School. We were all over the place, taking everything. It was a nightmare. It was literally a nightmare. Didn't bother Rainey. Rainey showed up, always. She She's a huge part of our program. She's a huge part of our success. She shows up for the weight room. She shows up for practice. She shows up for games. She is a competitor. She competes the second she walks in the door. And if she's in the gym, you hear her nonstop. Her freshman year, we had a game where I felt like we should have won. We played really horrible, and I was so angry with them that we went to our gym, because that was at the very end, and we practiced till 2:30 in the morning.
Didn't get dinner.
Didn't get dinner. And Rainey was like the copper bunny. She kind of crossed the line without the whole no dinner thing, and she was getting crazy and laughing, and everyone wanted to punch her because she was laughing and having a good time. And because it was not fun. It was not fun. It was fun for me, not fun for them. But Rainey always shows up. She's always ready to compete. She was there physically, mentally, and emotionally, always. No matter what was going on in her life, Rainey was there. She is a competitor and will be till the day she dies. She is the loudest on the floor, always calling for every ball. She calls out players on the other side. If you ever watched us, you probably noticed that. She calls out officials. Don't know how she got away with no red cards, but only yellow. We have a team culture board where I make the players kind of pick like a trait or a characteristic of what they think it makes like a really good teammate, or the ideal like Gila monster or whatever. And Rainey is that culture board. She's dependable, she's selfless, accountable, ambitious. She's mentally prepared and committed. She shows love for her team and coaches, team spirit, and trust. She brings toughness, grit, positivity, tenacity. And last but not least, she brings communication and energy on the court. If you watched us, you know that. Rainey is the definition of the fighting Gila monster. The Gila Monster Award is not something I always give out. I will if I feel like it's deserved. But Rainey, you deserve this. So we have, if you guys want to see this picture, you need to come see what this looks like. This is Rainey all the time. She wants to win. She has more heart than anyone that I know. I thought I was getting no. I thought I was home free. We also have for her. She literally was down to her last pair because she worked so hard. She wore holes in every pair of socks that she had. So I got her some socks along with some other things. You guys can go sit down. You guys can go sit down. Love you. Oh. Wait. Oh, I'll call you back up. Or never mind. In closing, I just want to first thank my team. To you, I'm grateful for your hard work, your commitment to working hard, striving for success in the classroom, in the weight room, on the court, and practice. I wish you guys could kind of see the difference. Like, they're learning to love muscles, and they're so much better just from this spring season. You've shown true grit. You've put up with everything that's thrown at you, all the service projects, the early morning stuff. Like, you guys you take it and you handle it with grace and poise. You're fun to be around, and that makes a huge difference for coaches, because we all know that the ones that we don't like, it sure makes for not very fun to be around. To my assistant coaches, you are invaluable to me and this team. A lot of times assistant coaches are overlooked and don't really get the credit, but when you have good assistant coaches, you really do make better players. And these two especially are a good balance for me, because sometimes I can get angry or whatever, and they kind of balance that out and keep it all okay. The time and the thought that they put into it, I really do super appreciate. I also want to thank the many people that it takes to help a team have success. I'm grateful for our diehard fans that continue to support us and even follow us on the road. Our girls really enjoy it. I would like to thank our administration. I won't name absolutely everyone because Jim went over all that. But that really important table back there, President Haney, Jeff Larson, Kenny Smith, who else is here? Susan, Wood, Vice President. We really do get a lot here, and we appreciate that you guys value us and what we can provide for the institution, and we love that we feel like we matter, and I really appreciate that. Our team really does. The Booster Club, for always supporting us and joining in on that ride. Sometimes that's up and down, victories and defeats, but you guys are always there no matter what, and you're yelling and cheering us on all the way. Bruce, for your streaming and always trying to make that a better experience for family at home that can't be here. Fellow coaches, I feel like we're a super unified group. Not everyone gets to enjoy that. We love that here. Janae, can you come up really fast? She keeps this boat floating. Where are you at? Come on up. We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Steve and Jory and all the athletic trainers for keeping us on the court, out of the training room. We love it. Mike DeLeo, you texted me and said you weren't here. Is Mike here? He's in trouble. Maybe he's watching. Mike, we love you in spite of you. So, Jim, we appreciate you for caring about all of your athletes, all of us across the board, for giving us the tools that we need to grow and be successful, and taking an interest in my players as individuals. They know it. And I'm always glad when we can have some success to throw that on you, because that reflects on you. So we enjoy that. And last but certainly not least, I really, 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 really want to send a huge thank you and shout out to all of you athletic teams that came and supported us in the fall. We had the best crowd. It was so freaking awesome. Seriously, seriously. Softball, women's basketball, men's basketball, baseball, cheer. You guys were, seriously, it makes an experience, and teams hate playing us here, and that's what we want, seriously. Congrats to you coaches and the teams and all the success you guys have had this year. It's been an awesome year. Super fun to be a part of. Go Monsters. Yes.
John, if you're out there, thank you for the lovely meal. I know my daughters, they thoroughly enjoyed it. So first I would like to thank my wife, Liz. She's not here tonight. She's at a church function, but I'd like to thank her for letting me pursue my passion to coach and, be part of basketball every day. Not every spouse would allow you to be a coach because there's so much time away from the family. So thank you, Liz, for allowing me to do this. Thank you, President Haney, Kenny, Jim, Dr. Wood, for allowing me to be a coach here at Eastern Arizona. I love it every day. I also like to thank my assistant coaches, Angelica. She was actually most people might not know, she was actually the WBCA National Assistant Coach of the Year for women's basketball. I'd also like to thank Coach Sam Daly. He's doing baseball with his family, but he's a big asset to our program. He always brings positive energy to the team. Always has a bright side of everything. So sometimes we need that. This group has really been 2 years in the making, maybe some even 3 years in the making. So it's a very unique group to have. You know, you might not have that again at a junior college level. So some of them have felt like they've just been here for forever. So it's been great. You know, we've had a lot of ups, few downs, but it's been a great journey. This group tests me every single day. They've made my hair turn a little grayer at times, but I wouldn't turn them in. They're my ride or die. You know, I'll go to battle with them every single time. As you see, they're loud, but that's how they roll. So here's some stats with this group. I think they're fairly impressive. So over the last 2 years, they were 44-8. We went to the region finals 3 times in a row. In 2021, it's never been done. We won the conference title, the region title, and we went to the Sweet 16 in the nation. We just this last season we tied for the most single season wins with 27. Statistics. I'm big into stats. I look at it. Some of them didn't. They don't. I had to teach them that. We led the country 2 years in a row in rebounding. We were first overall in offensive rebounding, third in points allowed. So we were a very good defensive team. Fifth with opponent's field goal percentage. Seventh in opponent's three-point field goal percentage, and we were 19th overall in field goals attempted. So we were top 25 all year from start to finish. We didn't get to go to the big dance. This is what it is. You know, that's what's committees choose that. We were the only team in our conference to have 4 all-conference players. So that's hard to do because that's voted on by everybody else in the conference. So that's what the other coaches in our region thought of you guys, that they believed in you guys. They knew that you were good. Another unique thing, and I'm very proud of, we have 9 that will be moving on. So most of the team will be moving on. All 9 have secured athletic scholarships at the Division I or Division II level next year. So at this point, I want to all of you guys to come up here and come up in numerical order of your jersey, okay? Excellent job. So first up is Jasmine Singleton. She is originally from Phoenix, Arizona. She came to us from UNLV. She was a defensive prowess. She was a one-person wrecking crew, you know, pretty much the best defender in our conference, and she really kind of transformed things. I had, you know, Lee Patterson, our broadcaster, he said he's never seen a defender like that before, that she could just destroy teams by her defensive effort. And she was selected all conference this year by the conference, and next year she will be playing at San Jose State University. So. So next up is number 1, Tiara Bolden. She's from Eugene, Oregon, and she'll be returning. For freshmen in this group, I think it was a battle for them because we have so many older kids. I think they learned a lot. I think she was always positive, always in the gym, and when she had her opportunities, she produced. And I know she's going to have a big year for us moving forward, and she's just a bright young lady, and will keep growing, keep getting better. Tiara. Next up is number 2, Sydney Wright. She is unique as she's American, but she grew up a lot of her life in Australia, following her dad's passion of being a coach. She is a guard, excellent shooter. She really turned on the lights against one of our rivals, against Pima, late in the year, and she was like 7 for 9 from 3. And it's always good to beat Pima at their house every single time. So she let everybody know who Sydney Wright was, and next year she'll play basketball at Western New Mexico University. Next up is number 5, Susie Nomoa. So she is from Lahaina, Hawaii. She has been here 10 years with me now, seems like. So she's been our team captain. She's very feisty. Everybody knows who she is. She is what every coach wants. She uses a great voice. You constantly hear her. That's just who she is. I know that's probably how she is even in the dorms. She's loud. She's proud about it. And she's got a bright future in basketball and whatever she's going to do in life. And I'm going to greatly miss her, and I know my daughters are going to miss her too. She's kind of been integrated into our family. I know. And this year she was all conference and all region for her 3rd time in a row. So. And then next year she'll go on and play at Colorado Mesa University. Number 12, Ajay Yokum. She's from Portland, Oregon. I had heard about Ajay when she was pretty young because I'm from Portland. Just kind of, her coach kind of said, hey, keep an eye on her. So somebody might need to check on down the road. So I kind of always watched her from afar, and then went and recruited her. Her brother grilled me, lots of questions, did a hell of a job asking the right questions. And we got her here. She came in very young. She was 17 when she got here. She grew up a lot. She matured a lot. We had her ups and downs, but she's changed and she's moving on to better things. She was all conference, all region, first team, the works. And next year she'll go on to Florida International University to play. Next is number 13, Amani Harris. She is also from Portland, Oregon. We got her as a transfer from Central Arizona, so she made the right choice coming down here to Thatcher. She's been a great post for us. She's really made a ton of strides. She did get hurt this year. I feel bad for her at that because she was progressing in the right way. Whatnot. She's a great student. This last semester, she was so far along. She got to go part-time, but she'll still get to graduate, whatnot. And she secured a Division I scholarship, and she's going to play at Alabama State University. Next up, I have number 23, Alexis Newman. She's from Phoenix, Arizona. She transferred to us this year from Eastern Washington University. She's a high energy, wears her emotions on the sleeve, but that's how she plays. She's an elite rebounder. She can shoot the three a little bit, she thinks. So, I think she's grew up a lot. She's got a lot of confidence in herself. I'm just very proud of her, how she kind of composed herself down the stretch this year. And I'm proud of her because she's going to graduate, and she also will go on and play at Alabama State University with Amani, so they get to be teammates again. Okay? So we got number 24, Sky Miller. She's originally from Anchorage, Alaska. She's kind of a jack-of-all-trades player. Just has a feel for the game that you just can't teach. It's a natural gift. She's very strong, stronger than I think she knows that she knows. And she would drive in and just pummel people sometimes, even their own teammates in practice. And we had a term, we call it moose meat, being from Alaska. She will be returning. We have high expectations for her. College coach is already kind of sniffing around who she is, but high expectations for Sky. She'll be one of the main players. So Sky Miller. Next up's number 30, Catarina. She is from Brazil. She's been here for 3 years. When she first came here, she did not know one word of English. She had to learn, and that's commendable to our educational system that we have here. She came not, humble beginnings. She came here, she learned, she got excellent grades. She excelled on the basketball court when she got here. She was an All-American last year, and she was All-Region, All-Conference, and again this year she was All-Region and All-Conference, and next year she'll go on to play basketball at Baylor University. So. Last couple kids, we have number 31, Indigo Parker. She's from Fullerton, California. One of our freshmen and returning players. She, I don't know if she knew what she was getting into with this group. Coming from Southern California, a little bit different laid-back lifestyle. We have a rough and tumble group here. I think she grew up a lot. She kind of learned to hold her own, and she has big things ahead of her here at the school. She's learned a lot. Coach Jelly works with her all the time. She works with the post players, and he hammers her pretty much every day because we know that she has the potential to be very good and play at the highest level of basketball. So we need her to believe that in herself. So, and she'll be returning, Indigo Parker. Number 33, Malia Cabagon, another post, freshman, returner. She's rough and tumble. She can shoot threes. People kind of don't think that she can do that, but she's got a unique skill set as a basketball player. A lot of energy. She's very positive. We're around us, and hey, you gotta take Susie's role now, okay? So that's big shoes to fill, okay? But she'll be returning, okay? I just want to thank this group and this journey. I'll never forget it. You guys are very unique and very special in my heart. I had never coached women's basketball until I came here. I learned a lot about myself as a coach, as a man, and I'll never forget it because, as everybody knows, I'm moving on. I'm going to take the men's job here. But this group will always have a special place in my heart, and I've learned a lot, about women's athletics, and that, hey, they need more of a spotlight at times, and so because they deserve it. Being a girl dad, I'm sensitive with that. So these girls need the recognition. All female sports do, and whatnot. So Coach Angelica will be taking over as the women's coach here next year. So. She's going to do a great job, and I'm excited for what it brings for both of us and all these young ladies. So thank you.
As Cameron mentioned, we had some changes in our basketball programs this year. Coach Maurice Leitsky resigned from his position at the end of the year to pursue some other personal things in his life. So I wanted to thank him for his 14 years that he was here. In 14 years, we went to the playoffs 8 times. He won over 230 games with his teams. He was region runner-up in 13-14, 15-16, 18-19, then finally cracked the barrier in 19-20 and won the region and went on to the districts and was district runner-up. Plenty of his players have gone on to play. They've done an excellent job academically. There's been years that his basketball teams were the #1 academic team in the NJCAA at the end of the year. Very impressive there, but I do want to acknowledge him and what he did over those 14 years and appreciate that. Men's basketball, we do have a few players here tonight, and I do want to recognize them. Lorenzo Caldwell, Jeff Morris, and Marquis Sales. Appreciate everything they did for us this year. We did have an all-conference, all-region player this year. Mo Yang was third team all-ACC and second team all-region. So moving forward, as Cameron said, he'll take over the men's program. Moving forward, he's already been involved in recruiting and signing players for next year. And Angelica will get the opportunity next year to come up here and talk about her season. But she'll take over the women's program. We're really excited about that. She's a neat person. She's been around here for 2 years, and we're excited about her taking over the program. So, yeah, okay. All right, so we got a thumbs up there, Angelica. We're good. All right, thank you very much. Michaela, you're up. Shoes on.
Thanks for calling me out. Oh, not yet. But you can stand up in order, please. Single file line. I have the funnest job on campus. And it's because of my administrators, my fellow coaches, the faculty members I get to work with, all of you student athletes, and my team that I have that fun job, and I want to express my gratitude to you. If there's one thing I'll never ever do again, it's take my job and this whole college experience and moments like this for granted. I got a little Sherry K right there. I'll rein it in. I'm good. Okay. We got to go to Yuma and compete against Arizona Western this year, which was really fun. And I want to thank Mackenzie from the training room and Zoe for your participation. It was the icing on the cake. Thank you. I also want to express gratitude to my team. They make 7 p.m. in the gym my happy place. Thank you for making the last 2 hours of my day the best 2 hours of my day. Thank you for being you and working together despite all your differences. I've learned so much from you, and I feel blessed to have you in my life. I truly love each and every one of you, and I wish you all the best in your very bright futures. Make a space so you can see everybody. I'm going to call you. I have to use their government names, so it might take me a second. Priscilla Bejarano, where are you at? Rally, I don't know, something, raise your hand. Chloe. You guys can clap for them. They're used to that. Carter Bryce. There you go. Briarly Crandall. Tamaya. Cassidy. Tiana. Maddie. Natalia. Brianna. Catriana. Celeste, and Elizabeth. Did I get everybody? I hope so. Thank you. We had a great season. Appreciate ya.
That's enough. Thank you very much. Thank you to the back table. I can see that far. I just don't need to name you. You guys appreciate it. There's been some a significant amount of changes in athletics in the last few years. And thank you to President and Dean Smith. And we're just very much appreciative. Some people that haven't been announced tonight, and it would be, he got out of here early. He must be going to watch it on TV. But Craig and Seneca come from across the grass. Thank you. I don't think things are done without you guys. Guys, we're still playing. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes into a program on this campus, and we start practice the first day of school just like every one of the rest of you, but we're still playing after graduation's over. So it's kind of nice that you get every minute of every kid's day while you're on this campus. We start our weights class at 5:30 in the morning, and basically so we don't have to deal with anybody else in the weight room, but 5:30 in the morning, and sometimes you're still either out at practice or study hall or volunteering something late at night, but it turns out pretty well. We knew we had something good going. Is that baby want to come up here? Well, somebody will have to bring her because I'm not going to come get her. You can bring her up, Ivana, if you want. You guys, this is Ivana Chavez. Ivana Bejarano from Thatcher. She pitched for us a few years ago. She's married her husband and assistant baseball coach, Lawrence Chavez. One of the few things that has worked out. Hi, Judy. Hi. Hi, do you clap? Yay. Yay. I tell you, you know what? I hope she's not waiting to play softball. I'm not hanging around that long. Thank you, Ivana. She's adorable. We knew that after COVID, and we talk about sophomores, we talk about super sophomores, and we talk about people who've been around, but after COVID, Chung and I, we realized we didn't do our job very well for at least 2 years in a row. And that'd be Alexis for the rest of you who know. And then we just really got out last year, spent a whole lot of taxpayer money, and busted our tails out recruiting. And as we told these girls today, every one of you is handpicked and is supposed to be here. We got lucky on a few situations and pulled in a few upper quality kids late in the year, but then we met a couple early on. And I look back at Cassidy, and Cassidy just fell in my lap one time. I was reading something, and her signature was, "You won't need another player. I'm the best player you'll ever find. Come watch me play," or something to that effect. And about time I got out there, and she's a very confident woman, almost true. We picked up Savannah. I think we were in Houston, actually. We were in Houston trying to make some connections out in Texas, and we saw this team from Colorado, followed around this 5'9" shortstop, and then talked to her and her folks right after the game, and we picked her up out of Arvada, Colorado. I look back when Cheyenne came to us. I think I was even out of town. I think I talked to Gabby into doing the tour. I think I was in Alpine. I don't know what excuse I gave you and your parents, but I think it was my first time in Alpine that summer. So we were very, very busy up in Alpine. But Cheyenne walked through, and I just couldn't grasp it. And then all of a sudden watched her play and swing, and knew we had a good little ball player from a great little program. Bailey got picked up late in the year from Chonga when she was in Kingman, no less. Bailey's from Las Vegas, and she just came back and says, "Coach, here's one we just got to have. We got to pick this one up." My New Mexico kids, there's no real good story with them. We just found them, knew Junior's mom, Jill, had played for us, and Jill and Stephanie, and then I think Jill just rounded them all up and said, "Take them all at the same time." We said, "Of course, we're happy to do that." Late in the year, I look back, and you call her Noodles. Somebody referred to her as Nudes the other day. I said, "No, let's just go ahead and say her whole name." But Bob Hammett, he's the old guy that kind of hangs out in my dugout once in a while, and he looks at her and he says, "She's just a good old country ball player. Doesn't think, just goes out and does something, and good things usually happen." So if you've ever watched her play, she and Susie have got to be related somewhere down the line because they're both loud. You hear them coming. But Noodles is very excitable when she plays, swinging a bat. I mean, she's on her front foot. Her arms are out. If she was a baby horse, you'd know it. She just has no skill set, no form until she actually settles down, and then she's dropping balls out of the yard and hit the ball very hard. We had 24 people when we started this season, and I was hoping that some of them wouldn't. Some of them did, just dropped off. Life was very, very good for us when that happened. And some of them were given an opportunity. When you tell somebody, we can keep you because you're here, but you're probably not going to get to play a whole lot. So if you want to stick around and do that, that's entirely up to you. But, that's a rough life when you have that. And 4 of them chose to move on. That dropped us down to 20. But so I'm just going to go down the list. And then all of a sudden, we look up, and I'll tell this story. Alondra Lugo, she pitched for us last year in the regional tournament, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. But our other pitcher from New Zealand just didn't quite want to be here. And Alondra was a freshman coming back, and I said, "Now, you can pitch her because I don't have a bullpen, or you can stay in the tournament." She stayed. She pitched every game we had. She worked her tail off. And we were working on a high ankle sprain of some sort. Well, come to find out this year, we couldn't even identify it till about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And now she's taking pain injections in her back. And Jory, are you in here, Jory? I know I've seen you. Jory is the one who kind of narrowed that down and got things figured out for us. And so now she's having to take pain injections just so she can walk and get some therapy in. But Alondra Lugo, in her this her 4th semester here until grades come out, has 1B in all of her grades. She's going to go to the U of A next year to study psychology and criminal justice. That gets us down, and now we have 19 players, and all of a sudden I bring in this woman whose family is softball royalty, in my opinion. Her aunties, that's what you get a column on, everybody's from Hawaii. Her grandfather, her entire family from Hawaii is by the last name of Manuma. And I don't expect you to know, but when you go to Hawaii and you say Manuma, they say, oh, the softball players. Well, Anita, whom I recruited, she played at Tennessee with Ralph Weekly. Her other cousin, or Aunt Katie, she played for Coach Jika as well, but she went to BYU. And then finally had the great opportunity to meet her grandfather this summer when we were in this fall when we were in Las Vegas. But it's just a name of royalty, softball. So we get her out, and she's a big swinger. And all of a sudden, she can't throw across the field. Well, okay, we went through some ideas, and they just weren't working. So finally, we just sent her to the doctor. They snipped her, sewed her up, and they've since told me she'll be ready for next fall. So she set out, so that gets us down to 18. But that is my friend, we're not going to say her given name. We're going to narrow that down to not even 7 letters. We'll just drop it to 4. But Losa, and I've never even said her last name. How do you pronounce your last name? Lalongi, just like it sounds. Spell it just like it sounds. Losa Lalongi from Las Vegas. Oh my goodness, when we get to, I would like for you kids to please all come up and just come on up, and I'm going to continue talking while you do. Girls, come on up, don't be all day. So just as an announcement, I promised not to go too long. I told Susie we wouldn't, so she'll still be able to get in her TV shows tonight. The luau tomorrow night. What time is the luau? What time is it? I think they said 6 o'clock. If you are really interested, this is the Polynesian Club. As you can see, all the Polynesians on this team. You're going to get the chance to see even white girls dance tomorrow night. So please come to the luau, because this is a Polynesian club. We'll keep a lot of them in the back, but some of you will have to still be out in front. So is everybody good? Okay. Guys, we are still playing. I have no awards to offer right now, and I'm going to talk and say something about each one. But for my freshman kids, and I don't really want to pick them out, so we're not going to move them, but I'm so dang proud of this bunch. But PTK, Phi Theta Kappa, nominated this spring. Nohea Akana, Krista Zagala, Gabby Romero. You can hold your claps. They all know they're not cheerleaders. They don't get clapped for every day. Maya Andres, Emma Roach. We call her Junior, but her name's Madison Chavez. That's right, isn't it? Okay. Savannah Clausen. I have to think a little bit. Jaylene Mancha, Cassidy Morrow, Bailey Murray, and Lauren Salcido were all put into Phi Theta Kappa, or nominated for Phi Theta Kappa this spring. People nominated in last October would have been Alyssa Loea, Alondra Lugo, Gabby Romero, Solimar Navarro, and Kayla Lunar. You know, I have to credit, and thank goodness she's here, Candace Lines in the counseling office. She was assigned. I don't know if she liked it or not, but she's done it for 3 years. These kids, out of however many we have, there's that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 in Phi Theta Kappa. So these kids have done an amazing job. So I also need you to know that out of the sophomores, and we have 5 of those, Alyssa Loera has petitioned to do 2 degrees. So she took very much advantage of her COVID year. And Gabby, I think, has petitioned to do 2 degrees as well. Xylee has petitioned to do 2 degrees as well. So out of the 6 sophomores that we have, 3 of them petitioned to do 2 degrees. So we've got our money's worth out of their COVID years as well. So academically, we've got our money's worth from these girls. Please, if you don't mind. Alyssa Loea, where are you at, number 9? Alyssa down here, she's going to move on next year to go to New Mexico State, and she's going to study nursing. She's that third-year kid. We brought her in as a center fielder. She's playing a lot more towards the end here. She's very consistent. She's an outfielder for us, but New Mexico State to study nursing. We don't have anybody signed yet. I'm not even worried about it. We still got a lot of work to do, a lot of playing time to go, but we'll get all that taken care of. While they're here, I'm going to introduce them as they stand, please. I might have to look at the list a little bit, but I think I got this. You know, they all look so different sometimes from when you see them. Cheyenne Cunningham from Buena High School. And that's fine. Bailey Murray, Harborview High School in Las Vegas. Losa from Las Vegas. I'm going to stay away from the high schools. Akana Nohea Akana from Waianae. Solimar Navarro. And I told her I'd quit saying this, but I got to say it one more time, just one more time. That's the sweetest left-handed swing I've ever seen. Solimar Navarro from Amado. She went to Cerrito High School. Bulldog. This is actually, her name is, you know, we all call her that, but Victoria Aguilar from California. Kayla Lunar from Alamogordo, New Mexico. Don't help me. Maya Andres. She's from Oahu, Hawaii. The high school she went to has like 37 letters in it, but I'll get to that. Lauren Salcedo from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Jaylene Mancha. Jaylene took a line drive back in our second conference game of the year from Pima. That was the best hit they had all season, but it broke her jaw. And she was out most of the season with the broken jaw. We put her back on the horse. She hasn't flinched once, other than needing to put a little weight on. She's not 100%, but you know, and a lot of people ask why maybe we didn't put any pitchers in against Yavapai yesterday. Well, you know, we just warmed her up a little bit, and we was watching the coach break his neck, watching her pitch a little bit. So we're going to take Jaylene to the playoffs. She's the only pitcher that nobody's seen this year, so we're going to see what we can do with that. But she's well over her broken jaw now. Junior, I've known Junior since she was a kid. Junior's mama played for me back in the 90s, but Madison Chavez. Krista Zagala, we picked her and Bulldog up at the same time, same tournament out of California. She's a pitcher for us. Cassidy Morrow, first baseman, left-handed hitter. Now I'm going into position. Now I'm getting comfortable. I'm sorry. Savannah Clausen, Arvada, Colorado. Emma Roach, she was a late sign for us. We were glad to have her out of, I always screw this up, Redding, California. There's one of my favorites right there. Xylee Kamealoha. Xylee, bless her heart, her first year, blew her knee coming out of the box at an Arizona Western tournament. Her second year, blew her knee coming off the field at CSN, and this is her actual first year of eligibility being played right now. Gabby Romero from Thatcher, Arizona. Gabby is just kind of like you, Rainey. She's been on our field since she's probably 7, 8. Her mom spent a lot of money in classes. Thank you very much, by the way. Alondra Lugo, you know what? Most positive person I ever met in my life to have that kind of thing happen and still get through her year. But she's gone from a big, long gray boot to a little black boot or shoe, so she's really stepping up there. We've got Alyssa Lorea from Centennial High School in Las Cruces. And here's one of my favorites. This kid, nobody even knew her name here while she was here. Charlotte transforms on the field. You know, she's very quiet, very meek, very laid back. You put her on the field and put her in catcher's gear, and all of a sudden that voice drops about 4. And she's just 2 and get her out. I mean, Charlotte transforms, and one of the best catchers I've ever had in the respect that she gets her entire body out of the way for an umpire to see. All he has to look at is a glove and a ball. So she does a great job behind the plate. Charlotte's from San Mateo, California. Thank you. Now you girls can just stick around. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry. You know, it's a lot more fun when you have things to talk about, but I would like to thank Dr. Doreen Chancellor. She drops a ton of money on my softball program every year. Rex OBGYN is one of our team sponsors. She put a whole bunch of money into our softball program. Our booster club spends a ton of money on these kids here at the college. It's just amazing. And as I said, Eastern Arizona College is really making it so all we have to do is go out and play. I'm going to thank a few people. I do need to thank Celeste Smith from the cheerleaders. Celeste? She's a picture-taking fool. That girl will, she does, I had to tell her, well, you could get hit, okay? It's a live ball right here. So anyway, we're trying to protect her a little bit more. She just gets in it. Guys, I would love to thank you guys. You guys been thanked enough, but, and Janae, I sure appreciate you. There's no telling what we would do without you. Mike, I'll take care of him later. But if I can go to that table right back here, KG, Kirsten Garcia, just put your hand up, sis. We've got KG. We lost a pitching coach a few years ago, and KG has come in and solidified our group. It's nice to have that specific thing going. And at first I was a little concerned about her. All I got was a thumbs up and big eyes, but now she actually communicates with her words, and she communicates well with these pitchers. But they go through a whole lot of meetings, making sure they're ready to go for the games. KG, you have no idea how helpful you are. I'm save Changa for last, one of my best friends in the world. One of my other best friends, and he doesn't have to get up, but Mike Skinner has worked with me for I don't know how many years. I don't know how many graduations we've spent on the road. Sitting next to him is his wife, Jen. I remember us watching graduation one time at a hotel in Yuma while Jen was grading her papers. Second grade, third grade teacher? It might have been Virgin Mai Tais that night. I'm not sure exactly what I was drinking, but I'm thinking Virgin Mai Tais at the pool. But Jen and the counseling office has done amazing things to help us out. Candace, I just can't say enough. You've taken these kids under your wing. They even call them during classes. We've had to tell them, no, quit calling during your class. Just go on your spare time. But Candace Lyons has driven each one of these kids start to finish to where they're at right now. Thank you, Candace. Her husband, Lance, is no finer man. I'd put in a plug. He's running for public office, but I'm not going to say anything about that. Okay? Dr. Pennington, Dr. Pennington has added a facet that I never even thought was possible. She's opened her door and her office to these kids, and it's just amazing how many people need to talk to somebody other than a coach. It's just amazing how many things they have on their mind. It's just somebody else needs to help them with it, and Dr. Pennington has opened her doors. She's made herself very available to help these kids anytime that they need some help in. And we've about worn her out. We've used her a little bit, haven't we? We've worn her out. But these are just people just doing their job so that we can do our job better. I could stay here all day and thank you. I'm not going to do that. But I do have to say, Alexis Aguirre, we finally got her to play for us one year. 3 years later, she's coaching with us. Alexis gets me. She lets me go through my stages and my temperaments, and she's still there to help me out. This program will not be where it's at any way, shape, or form without Alexis Aguirre. So if you don't mind. Thank you very much. We will play Central Arizona College, 9 o'clock on Friday the 13th, which is our lucky day. Too bad for them. And Pima will play Yavapai, then we'll either win or lose. You play the next game either at 1 or 3. So we're in the playoffs this weekend. Have a great graduation. We won't be here. We'll take a cap and gown with us, shoot some pictures back. You won't even miss us. It'll be all over our Facebook page. Thank you very much. You kids that are leaving, thank you for spending your time with us. And you kids that are coming back, can't wait to get it started again. Thank you. Thanks, Bill.
My name's John Chalmers. I'm the head baseball coach at Eastern Arizona, and with me is Lawrence Chavez, the associate head baseball coach at Eastern. I am not Kate McCluskey second, I can tell you that right now. But I am old enough that I watched her perform as an athlete. And she brings the same enthusiasm and focus to her work as a head coach that she displayed when she was right here playing for us. There's not been an ounce of energy or enthusiasm that she's lost along the way. You're lucky to have her coaching you. Obviously, I thank Janae for all she does for us, and of course, Coach Bagnall, who I have worked with and for a long, long time. And the relationship has been absolutely outstanding. Mr. Skinner, I know how many fields you are responsible for on the South Campus. I don't know how you get them done, because our baseball field and the interface work that you do with Coach Chavez is just fantastic. I never get tired of telling people that we play on the sweetest small college baseball field in the Southwest. And I've been to all of them, I played on a lot of them, and our place is special. And it's because people care about what they're doing, you and Lawrence, and it's really important. James Pryor is our guy, counseling, advising, structuring of schedules, and we're lucky to have him. He does a really nice job with my club. I'd like to think that my club members are easy to work with. They're courteous and attentive all the time, but they're not. And so if James does a good job with them, I know he's putting in some extra time and effort. That's part of dealing with young people. As you guys get older, you're going to figure that part out too. Other people that I should mention, Chip Griffin, putting this on live. This is fantastic. When we were beating Central, the number of people watching went from 100, 120, 150, 180. When you're playing a top club in the country and you're jumping on them, the word gets out. And all they had to do was hit that link and boom, they could watch it go on. It's a great thing for our program, just as I know it's a great thing for everybody else's program on campus. Appreciate you and what you do. John Nichols and the cafe crew. Those of you who have been here a while understand the just quantum change in food service on this campus. It is an incredible accomplishment, one of many in the way of administrative changes that have taken place in the last 3 years. We used to flip a coin and say, what does this recruit's family look like? Is this Jerry's, or is this Denny's, or is this El Coronado? Now we're right here. And we say, hey, this is what your young man's going to eat. Look at the menu, walk in the backside. It's neat, and we appreciate the changes that they have made for us. Karen Coppola is changing responsibilities. She won't have oversight for the travel that we do, which probably makes her happy, but she's done a fantastic job helping us at baseball and our traveling. We sometimes get up at 4, we haul out at 5:30 in the morning, we roll back in at 12, 12:30. It's a long day. We've got all kinds of federal rules about what times drivers can drive and what they can't drive. We're asked all the time by the charter company, exactly when does your game end? And I tell them, well, it ends between 5:30 and 7:30. And you pick a time, because I can't. That's just the world we deal with, and she's been super, along with Janae, in helping us navigate that process. Want to, of course, recognize my assistants. Jacob Scarlett has played for us, and he's coached with us multiple years, and it's been fun to watch him, the growth, the additional responsibilities that he's been willing to take on, and I appreciate what he's meant to our program. He's here with his better half and their newborn, who will be arriving not too far down the road. Both graduating, she in just a week, he after one more semester with an RN and a bachelor's at the same time. Neat accomplishment by neat people. Dustin Seal joined us this year as pitching coach. He couldn't be here this evening. He's made a quality addition to our program. I wanted him to take charge of the bullpen. I wanted him to make sure that a pre-entry routine was followed. I wanted him to share his playing experience and knowledge with regard to game movement and expectations when you come onto the field in tough situations. And he did a nice job in doing all those things, and I appreciate the effort that he put in for us. Again, on my left, my associate head coach, Lawrence Chavez. I'll tell you what he does. He does everything I do. He just does it faster and better. That's just the bottom line. And I've got 31 ball players who could vouch for that without question. What I want to do right now is shorten our process by introducing to you our ball players who are moving on. I'm going to introduce them alphabetically, obviously one at a time. Guys, just stand. If you want to hold your applause, please. We'll get all those fellows up, and then we can recognize them. First of all, right-handed pitcher from El Paso, Alan Aguero. Middle infielder from El Paso, Michael Alvarez. Pitcher from Artesia, New Mexico, J.R. Bustamante. Outfielder from Las Cruces, Maxwell Chapman. Right-hander from Albuquerque, Eamon Colbert. Right-hander from Durango, Colorado, Finn Heisen. Finn is the Alvin Goodman Award winner this year, highest GPA by a male student athlete. It's 4.0. I don't know why he couldn't get one higher than that, but apparently he's satisfied with that. Outfielder from Alamogordo, New Mexico, Colin Kirk. Infielder from Tucson, Alec Larson. Left-handed pitcher from Albuquerque, Joseph Luna. Right-handed pitcher from Douglas, Emiliano Mata. Right-handed pitcher from Maui, Roy Minen. Right-handed pitcher from the St. George area in southwestern Utah, Max Raditz. And a right-handed pitcher from Alpine, Texas, Derek Rojo. Those are our ball players moving on. 13 associate's degrees among them. Freshman ball players. Thank you. Freshman ball players. Introduce them the same way, and then we'll recognize them as a group. Catcher from El Paso, Joseph Almanza. Infielder from Sahuarita, Devin Alvarez. Catcher from Buena, Austin Grimm. Right-handed pitcher from Santa Teresa, southern New Mexico, Braden Gluth. Shortstop from Poston Butte, the Santan Valley, Junior Lopez. Pitcher from Thatcher, Seth Lunt. Pitcher from El Paso, Zach Melendez. Pitcher from El Paso, Victor Munoz. Catcher from the legendary Tucson High program, Francisco Christian Olea. Infielder from Bradshaw Mountain, Jacob Platt. Pitcher, athlete from El Paso, Julius Ryan. Pitcher from Utah, Braden Sheese. Pitcher from Las Cruces, Isaac Silva. Catcher from El Paso, Gustavo Soto. Outfielder from Texas, Khalil Walker. Outfielder, pitcher from Colorado, Ty Waitulka. I want to recognize a couple of individuals with coaches' help, and I'm going to ask them to come up one at a time, and he'll provide them with some hardware as I tell you some things about them. Alon, would you come forward, please? Alon Arrero is a pitcher who knows how to pitch. He knows how to keep the ball down. He knows how to go out in the field with 3 pitches and dominate hitters. More importantly, he knows how to go out in the field when he doesn't have 3 pitchers and stick around long enough and get some outs until he finds that second or third pitcher. Alon was second team all-conference. He was second team all-region. He's committed to New Mexico State University. And if you're a baseball stats person, you could look at his ERA. You could check strikeouts per inning. You could look at his whip. You could look at the fact that he made those 12 consecutive starts and gave us a chance to win every single time he went out, and you would understand why he has been recognized the way he has. The coaching staff has selected Alon as the baseball team MVP. Congratulations, Alon. We'll give Alon his framed certificates after the dinner is over with. Next young man I'd like to ask come forward is Khalil Walker. Khalil's an outfielder, a freshman, a true freshman from Texas, and I'm going to tell you some things about him a little bit later. Khalil was a first-team all-conference. Understand, in this pandemic time frame, lots of students hanging around. On the baseball all-conference first team, there's one true freshman right there, Khalil Walker, and he deserved it, I guarantee you. Second team all-region, he is the Arizona Gold Glove nominee. We'll see what happens at the national level. He can run them down, he can swing it. He finished second in the conference batting average. He had the third highest total of hits. And all that is remarkable because he missed the first 16 games of the year with a fracture, a non-displaced fracture that he had to wait to come back together. And his first outing was not the most productive outing he had all year, and then he went on a roll. There may have been a game when he didn't have multiple hits, but I can't remember the last time that would be true. Khalil is an outstanding baseball player, and he's a wonderful contributor to the program. He has been selected by our staff to receive the Baseball Silver Slugger Award as the most productive offensive player in our program. One more recognition before I talk about our year. I asked our club to vote for a Mr. Monster, and we talked a little bit about what that meant. And what it means to me is somebody who's special, who works hard to get things done, who loves to play and plays hard, but who stays after it if he's not in the game. I thought that we'd have some diversity with regard to the votes cast, but there was an overwhelming selection of Maxwell Chapman as Mr. Monster for our baseball program. Just some quick comments about our season. We won the most games that has been won in and out of conference since 2016. There are 4 Division II teams entering into playoffs. We beat 3 of them. The Division II conference winner, we beat them. There are 4 Division I teams moving into playoffs. We beat 3 of those. The conference winner on our side was Central. We beat them here. It was kind of a neat experience because after we beat them, the SID at Central wrote an article that he posted on their baseball homepage. And I'll just sum it up briefly for you. He said, if you want to know the strength of a junior college conference, don't look at the team at the top. Look at the team down there on the bottom end. Because he said, nobody plays Central any tougher than Eastern Arizona. And he went on to say that if Eastern Arizona, as a baseball program, was in any other D1 conference, they would be at the top. But what we do is we verify the strength of baseball in Arizona. The Arizona Conference is outstanding. We've been a wood-bat conference for 20 years, and the people across the country know that. And that's one of the reasons our guys move with relative ease into the 4-year area. Having said all that, I want to direct a little bit of time about baseball in the future at Eastern, and my comments are directed to the administration and to the governing board. For years, I recruited the 4 corner states, Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah, worked them hard, established relationships. And year after back to Coach Bagnall and say, why can't I sign somebody out of El Paso? I see him all the time. Everywhere I go, I see West Texas athletes. I know coaches in El Paso. I know coaches in El Paso that played baseball right here at Eastern, and I can't bring those people in. Well, when there was an administrative change, we were allowed to go to Texas as a baseball program, and that really excited me. And we jumped right into the El Paso area, and I think we've got young men right here from that area that have really, really contributed to our program. We have more coming in. And I was excited, but I was a little short-sighted because Coach Chavez said, let's don't stop at El Paso. He has a relationship from his pro ball experience with a guy who was in the White Sox program who owns baseball facilities. And he's in the process of developing one in Texas. And that man was interacting with a scout that has responsibility for Texas and Central America. And they got to talking about where they're going to push ball players to. And his name came up. And we're in Utah doing a little recruiting, and I'm charting Braden Sheese trying to figure out if he can throw something in the zone. And Coach Chavez, there's smoke coming off of this, He's texting probably faster than I can think. And he's showing me video, and he's saying, hey, Jim has got hold of this guy, and there's a ball player in North Texas that hasn't signed. He thinks he's going somewhere in Kansas, but he needs to swing wood. He should swing against Arizona pitchers. I'll just shorten the process. That's Khalil Walker. And we're lucky to have coach's relationship because that's what led to Khalil. But it gets better. We've signed a 6'3", left-handed bat, runs a 6'5", 60 out of Houston this year, who decided to turn his D1 offers down because he wants to play right now. And a scout told him that Arizona with a wood bat location was the place to go. We got him. Yesterday, we got a letter of intent from an athlete in the Corpus area, 2-year relationship with the scout. Relationships are everything. I thought it was absolutely thrilling that we could get into El Paso. Now we're into Fort Worth, Dallas, Houston, Corpus. We're going everywhere down there, and it's going to make an addition to our program. We like our group coming back, and we're excited about the group coming in, and we appreciate all the support that we get. Eastern Arizona baseball program is lucky to have the facilities that we have. We're lucky to have the support on campus that we do. We're lucky to have a booster club that cares about our activities. And we're looking forward to winning more games for all of you. Thank you.
Yeah. Line up in your order. 1 to 6. There we go. Okay. I'm making them come up with me so that there's someplace else for you to dry your eyes while I talk about them. So to start out, I first want to echo all the coaches' thank yous across the board, but I want to emphasize a huge thank you to Karen Coppola. I don't know if she's here. Is she here? And Janae Lines. I wouldn't be able to do my job without them. Those two were godsends. This year for all of us has been a year of survival, right? There's been so many times that one or all of us would say, oh my gosh, we should write a book. But then we stop and say, no one would believe it. Like, it would have to be in the fiction section because it's just been one hurdle after another. But these girls persevered. They were super, super strong. They overcame health issues. They overcame, Anyway, and I first have to say, they're all freshmen. So I didn't think anything of it, going into a season with all freshmen. I just thought, no, cool, like whatever. So any of you coaches that have ever done that, I don't know if I wouldn't recommend it if you can get away with it. Because these poor girls coming in as freshmen, I didn't realize the value of having players that have already learned the ropes. But having a team that didn't have a single other person here to mentor them, to say, hey, this is how you do this, or this is what we do on the weekends, or this is, they just all came in blind and having to figure it out together. And so I didn't realize that was going to be a struggle, and they overcame it, and I will try to do better at keeping that balance moving forward. But our season isn't over. We went undefeated in conference. Mesa was on our tail the entire time. They wanted it so bad. But we pulled through and came out undefeated. We went to the region tournament and finished region champions, which was a huge success for these girls. They fought so hard. I don't know if you guys know much about tennis. Most people don't know much about tennis. But the way that it works is it's a team sport, but it's also an individual sport. So whenever we go into a match in conference, you take your top 6 players, and all those players play a singles match, so you have 6 singles matches, and then you divide those 6 players into doubles teams, and you have 3 doubles. So you basically go up against a team, and it's best of 9. So you've got 6 and 3, best of 9, and that's who wins the match. When you go into region, you take your number 1 player through 6, all the 1s play the 1s, all the 2s play the 2s, and so on. And then the same with doubles. And so you count all of those points, and you have a team champion, but then you also can hold an individual title. This year, we had 4 of our players secure those individual titles along with our team champion title. And so we want to recognize them really quick. Are these all of them? Yeah. Who do you have first? Okay, so let's do, because this is the doubles. So our number 2 flight in doubles was Laura Kalum. And Madison Palmer. She goes by Maddie. So they swept the number 2 doubles in the region, which is a super great honor. And then in singles, we had Sierra Chibi. She played at our number 2 and swept the whole region, took number 1. Super proud of her. And then in our 3 flight, we had Alexia Chibi. In case of those of you that don't know, they're twins. I also have to mention Alexia went undefeated in conference this year, which is huge. So another round of applause for her. So while we're on names, move up here a little bit so they can see you. You don't have to hide. A little closer, come on. They're so shy. It's okay. I'm going to go ahead and introduce all of them to you really quick. So this was Laura Kalum. She is from Paris, France. Like I said, she's a freshman. She is super, super shy. She is very academic, 4.0 student. She is that like coach's dream. Like you can just bring her in, let her do her thing. She's not going to cause trouble. She's just going to like keep her nose to the grind. So I really appreciate her. She's been a huge asset to our team, and we love her to death. The next one is our little tiny peanut. This is Sierra Chibi. Okay, this little tiny girl, like she looks like this big, and you would, like I first saw her and I'm like, how could she even get the ball over the net? Like she's about as tall as the net. If you want to see something really cool, come out and watch this girl play tennis. She is a beast on the court. She hits the ball so hard. She has the best leg work of anybody I've ever coached. She just stays low to the ground, keeps her stance wide. She has an amazing ability to catch a ball on the uprise, and I don't know if you know what that means, but when that ball hits the ground and comes up at you, usually you play back and you have time to like get on top of it. She can just hug that baseline, and as that ball is coming up at her, just attack it and whip it over the net. It's really unbelievable. So super talented player, huge asset to the team as well. Alexia, her twin sister, same thing. They're identical in a lot of ways, even on and off the court. Same thing. Her leg work is phenomenal. Like I said, she went undefeated in conference, which was huge for us. They are both of them from Toronto, Canada. And it was a little bit of a culture shock because those of you that know Toronto, it's a huge city. So coming here to our little tiny town was a bit of a shock to them at first, but I think they're coming to like it, right? Next down the line, playing in our number 4 spot, is Maddie Palmer. She's a local. She graduated from Thatcher High School last year. Maddie is one of those that is like the mother hen of the group. Like, she knows what everyone needs. If we need something, Maddie will just jump right in and do it. So she has been such an asset, and we just love her to death. The next one is Hannah Myler. She's from a little town in Washington. She played at our number 5 spot this year. What do I say about Hannah? I could go on, I could write a book about Hannah, right? We could write. Hannah is you wish that you could just like have like a little Hannah button on your desk, and if you're having a bad day, you could just push that button and have her say something to you, and it'll put a smile on your face and just a laugh in your heart. Hannah is just a good time. She makes you laugh even when she's not trying to make you laugh. So she keeps our team on our toes and keeps us very, very entertained. She is also a super, super hard worker. She's overcome a lot of battles physically, and she just is a champion. Like, it doesn't even affect her. She just powers through everything. So I'm super proud of her. I won't do that. And then on the end there, we have our very quiet and shy and quiet Olivia Haney. This is President Haney's daughter, and she has been, everyone's like, oh. She has been such a gem. So she is that player that I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have got my hands on her like 3 years ago, because she is such a coachable player, and she just wants to learn. Like, she'll ask questions, and how do I make the ball do this? And you tell her, and she just does it. So I'm like, man, if I could have just had her like 3 years ago, like, it would have been awesome. But such a coachable player, such a sweetheart. She just loves everybody. She's so genuine, and probably has the best sportsmanship of any player I've ever coached on the court. She will make best friends with her opponent. They're like on the changeover, and Olivia's over there talking and like making friends with this girl, and part of me wants to go over there and be like, no, like, she's your opponent. Don't be nice to her, like, beat her, and then you can be nice to her. But she's just that way. She just loves everybody. Everybody's her friend, and we love her for that. The other person that I can't forget is our assistant coach, Dallin. So Dallin Evans, I actually coached him in high school. His dad was his real coach, but I got to take a little bit of credit coaching him a little bit in high school. Phenomenal tennis player. He comes out a couple times a week and is able to keep up with these girls far better than I can. And super, super fun to watch. And I really appreciate the time that he's able to squeeze in. He's got a full-time job and a young family, and he's still comes out anytime he can to help and comes to any match that he can possibly get to, and we just absolutely love him. We're going to miss him. He actually got accepted into a doctorate program, right, in Houston. He got accepted to a doctorate program in Houston for architecture. Architecture history. Yeah, so he'll be leaving in June, right? Yeah, so super excited for him, but he will definitely be missed. Our season's not over yet. Like I said, we will leave for nationals this Friday morning and compete against the top teams in the nation. So overall, there's about 48, right in that ballpark, teams in the nation, and the ones that win region and that qualify at region go to nationals. And so there will be about 24 to 25 teams there competing, and so we'll get to go and represent Eastern Arizona College, and it'll be our last hurrah for the season, and then we'll move on to next year. So I think that's it. That's all I've got. Thank you, guys.
Good evening, distinguished guest in the back left corner. Thank you, President Haney, Dean Smith, and Jim Bagnell. I'm really proud to be a part of this organization. This is my first year at Eastern Arizona, and I look around this room and I see amazing coaches, I see amazing athletes, and I'm proud to be a part of your organization. Good job to all you athletes, whether it's cheer, baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, tennis. You guys are all tremendous, amazing young individuals. This is a rebuilding year for the golf team. Let me start there. I'm the head coach. My name's Conrad for golf. It's a rebuilding year. I only have 2 players back there, and they don't want me to bring them up here, so I'm going to bring them up here. So if you don't know these 2 individuals, Pedro and Caden, they are, I'm sorry, it's Andre. Andre, okay. So Andre and Caden, if you don't know these 2 individuals, you probably won't see them on campus because we're on the golf course about 9-10 hours a day. That's how come we have these amazing tans. We have the best job, I think, as athletes and a coach. So that's all I have for these guys. So thanks, guys. Go sit down. You guys rock. But before I'm trying to keep it really fast and quick so we can move on with our evening. Before I do that, I just want to say a huge congratulations to Brooke and her team. You guys set the standard for what athletic team at Eastern Arizona should be. You guys worked tremendously on and off the season during rain, windy weather, hot, sunny days. You guys set the standard for what championship team should be. So congratulations. Next, and she probably gets tired of this because every time I see her, I have to make a comment. Next is Angelica, head coach to the women's program, amazing. Assistant coach, right? Amazing, right? Good job, big coach. So, and then, so I'm gonna add. I'm gonna jump on everybody's coattails and jump on their piggybacks. Janae, what we don't understand is there's so many moving parts to getting a team from Eastern Arizona down to the Valley, to Texas, to wherever you're going to play your games. There's a lot of moving parts. Karen Coppola, Tanya Larson, everybody that works behind the scenes, we can't say thank you enough to them. But one person that has helped me in my first year is Janae. Janae, come up here. I got you something. Come here. So after I met Jim Bagnell and interviewed with him, he introduced me to Janae. The first thing I can honestly remember in an office, and I'm sure all athletes, especially the women's basketball team, is she has a candy jar. So no, you can't keep this vase, but you can have the candy off the table, okay? Thank you, Janae. Again, I look forward to growing this golf program, and I look forward to being part of Eastern Arizona for a long time. Thank you guys for coming out and hearing me talk. I really do appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you, coaches. Appreciate your time to recognize our student athletes and your recognitions this year. It's been an interesting year. One of the things I want to recognize here tonight is, maybe I'm getting old. Madison Chavez, parents played here at Eastern Arizona College when I first got here. Josh was a shortstop for me, and Jill played softball for Kate. Met each other, and now their daughter is here. I'll go better than that. One of my all-time favorite players that played for me in baseball is from Thatcher, Arizona. Clay Romero. Was with me for 3 years, redshirted, played 2 years. Unbelievable young man at that time. And his daughter, Gabby, plays for us for the last 6 years. I watch her play, and I see the way she handles herself. I see Dad. And he was really impressive. So congratulations to you. Neat to see that. We had the Lions Club today honored our tennis team for their accomplishments and going on to nationals. And they had a luncheon, and it was nice. I got to meet the girls and talk to them and ask them. And they do a nice job of asking questions. They asked the Chibi twins from Toronto, what was the big adjustment here? Big city coming here, change, obviously small town. Then they talked to Hannah Myler. She comes from a smaller town. She was excited we had Walmart. So different perspective when people come here from out of the area. It's been an interesting year. I learned what RBF means. I won't say what it is, but I learned what it was. First time ever. Thank you, women's basketball. I also learned what Chonga means. She will always be Alexia to me. It won't be Chonga anymore. You can ask her what that means. I found that out the other day. But I have 2 more awards to give that we're really pleased to do. And the first one is for our Female Athlete of the Year. This goes to Savannah Clausen from softball. Congratulations. Just stay up here while I talk about you. Okay. A couple things about Savannah. She's hitting .507 right now, which is 8th in the conference, 20th in the country. She's got 17 home runs, 8th in the conference, 29th in the country. She's got 63 RBIs, 8th in the conference, 25th in the country. She has a slugging percentage of, she's 6th in the conference and 11th in the country. She's from Arvada West, Colorado High School, and we're very pleased. Female Athlete of the Year. Male Athlete of the Year, Alana Werrell. Up here and I'll talk about you. John talked about him earlier. You stay. Oh, you're good. You're good. It's all good. John talked about him earlier, 2.47 ERA, 4th in the conference. Unbelievable. As John said, 12 starts this year, gave us a chance to win every one of those. A lot of fun to watch him pitch. He was a second-team all-conference, second-team all-region. Really nice accomplishment. Now moving on to New Mexico State. Well-deserved Male Athlete of the Year. Again, I want to thank all the coaches for all their hard work, and more importantly, all the players, all the students for all their hard work. It's not easy being a student athlete. It starts in August, starts early in some programs, and it goes all the way through beyond this week and next week. It's a long year. It's a lot of work. We ask a lot out of you. We expect a lot out of you, and you give it back to us, and we appreciate that. We'll do everything we can to support you in the future. We'll support the ones that are going on. We wish you the best of luck as you go on in your future endeavors, playing, school, with family, whatever you're going to do. We also look forward to the ones that are coming back in the fall. We'll look back to having you back here in August, greater things next year than this year, back to expectations. Administration has given us more things to work with. We have more money, we have more resources, and we have more opportunities to do well in the right way, in the classroom and on the field. Appreciate all you do. We wish you all the best of luck. Appreciate all the coaches and all the hard work, the administration and all the support, and good night.